Right, hello, am I audible? कोई chat में बोल दो if my audio is coming. Let me start my video also. All right, thank you so much, Mayank. एक बार देख लेते हैं YouTube if everything is working as intended.
Ultimate power
Nice ads. All right. Perfect. ठीक है, किसका करना है first? Who's ready? एक बार you can honestly just like how people did with Vani yesterday. You can show your face, we can have a conversation, understand what happens, and hopefully you're able to put a positive impact on everything. ठीक है, ठीक है, किसका करना है first? Feel free to unmute. Yeah, I'll call people randomly. Okay, Mayank, come, let's do yours. So you can unmute and share thoda sa ki how, like, what you're doing right now, what has the journey been so far, and what's your plan for the next 10 days ahead?
Hello, Priya. First of all, so the journey is like थोड़ा सा downfall जा रहा है धीरे धीरे.
ठीक है.
Like शुरू तो बहुत अच्छी हुई थी.
ठीक है.
But like अभी मैं उस confusion में हूँ. Like I have some topics remained. Like मुझे लगता है वो थोड़ा सा हाई वेट है, बट मुझे लगता है कि रिवीजन मुझे पहले करना चाहिए या मुझे उन टॉपिक्स को पहले खत्म करना चाहिए. एंड अब जैसे एस आईपीएम में आई एम एनरोल्ड, तो मैराथन कोर्सेज भी चल रहे हैं. मेरे को कंफ्यूजन है, मैं कहाँ जाऊँ, मैं क्या करूँ.
तो भी डिसीजन पैरालिसिस हो गया.
हाँ, बहुत ज्यादा. एंड फिर मॉक्स में पता नहीं एकदम से लाइक कोई और मॉक देता हूँ तो उसमें स्कोर अच्छा आ जाता है. आफ्टर बोर्ड्स का दिया तो बीए इतना ड्रॉप हुआ, लाइक आई कांट टेल इट.
No, like you saw in the cutoffs that we also shared ki VA ka cutoff was 70 when it would have been in 110s had the VA been a lot more easier. So वही चीज है कि VA का स्कोर नीचे जाएगा तो कट ऑफ भी नीचे जाएगा. So all of that is done accordingly. We just want to make sure कि वो टेंशन ना हो, क्योंकि people get really frustrated. Like I had a few people telling कि VA में इतना मुश्किल है, ये है वो है. But then the same thing also happened with IPMAT Fotak. The quants was so easy, and all the coaching centers were saying कि 350 होगा safe score, और safe score तो 400 निकल गया.
मुझे ऐसा नहीं लगा कि वीए टफ है. ठीक है, मैं वैसे पहले तुक्के मारता था, बट आई वाज लाइक सो श्योर ऑफ द आंसर्स कि ओके मैंने रूल ग्रामर का पढ़ा हुआ है.
हाँ,
दिस इज राइट, दिस इज राइट, एंड आई गॉट ओनली 2 क्वेश्चंस राइट ऑफ ग्रामर.
fair enough, fair enough. ठीक है, which mock do you want to get it analyzed अभी?
First.
ठीक है, first one. Let's talk about it. ठीक है, just 1 second. I'll quickly set this. So I'm basically controlling the YouTube live from over here in my PC, and I'm controlling this over here. इसलिए थोड़ा ये हो गया, but now yes, everything is set. Okay. Yeah. First main issue है कि your negative marks are going up, and is this because of VA?
Yeah, literally, totally VA.
ठीक है, totally VA. Apart from that, maths में तो ठीक हो रहा है. I can see कि थोड़ा time you're spending a lot more than what is recommended. So let's try to find out if the question in which you spend 181 seconds actually became right or not. स्क्रीन दिख रहा है ना?
हाँ, दिख रहा है. थोड़ा सा लैग हो रहा है बस.
All right. 8 minutes. Let's see if I stop this. Okay. God damn it, my laptop is killing me. But हाँ. अभी your main problem is कि you need to understand whether अभी marathon करना है या फिर you want to do the revision, or you would need to study new topics. What topics are left mainly? वो समझाओ.
ट्रिग्नोमेट्री,
Trigonometry.
मैट्रिसेस, डिटर्मिनेंट्स
ठीक है.
एंड मेरा सेट रिलेशंस फंक्शन रहता था, मैंने वो कर लिया आज. तो लाइक हाँ, ये दो मेन टॉपिक्स हैं.
ठीक है. Now see, determinants and matrices का basics तो आता होगा ना, like what is the formula for the determinant?
लाइक आता था बट भूल गया मैं.
अरे ठीक है यार, एक दिन में हो जाएगा.
हाँ.
Honestly, I would tell you कि अभी your plan should be clear the parts of the topics that you're completely blank. What if एक simple equation आ जाएगा, A equal to a 2 into 2 matrix? Find the determinant of A to the power 2500. So stuff like those you need to be very clear with. So I would highly recommend कि वो एक बार खत्म करके clear कर दो, because that will give you क्या बोलते 4-8 marks if an easy question comes. या फिर regret होगा, आसान question भी score नहीं कर पाया. ठीक है. Now, coming to marathon classes, those things are recorded and you can watch that in your own pace. Do you feel any friction होगा if you listen to the classes वैसे?
नहीं, लाइक मैं तो रिकॉर्डिंग ही प्रेफर करता हूँ, क्योंकि
हाँ.
भैया टेक क्लासेस एट नाइट और मुझे रात को नींद आ जाती है.
Fair enough. So at least your sleep schedule is fixed for the upcoming exam.
हाँ, लाइक पता नहीं क्यों रिसेंटली हुआ है.
नहीं है
रोहतक
यार.
में इट वाज लाइक कंप्लीटली अपोजिट डाउन. आई यूज्ड टू स्लीप एट 9
ठीक है.
in the morning.
ये क्या question था which went wrong? Let's say why. Okay. So you basically saw this question and you are like ऐसे नहीं होगा तो at least manually तो हो ही जाएगा.
लाइक मैंने कुछ मैनुअली भी किया था, कुछ मिक्स करके किया था, बट मतलब एक से गलत हो गया. लाइक यार 28 29
एक ही चीज है. But have you gone through all these questions कि you've understood the logic behind it कि why we are choosing this term?
I have done this question before, लेकिन मैं सच बताऊं तो मैं लॉजिक भूल चुका हूँ उसके पीछे
ठीक
का.
है. अभी what I'll recommend is for your revision हर question का ना have a notebook. And वो notebook में देखो framework of these questions कि okay ऐसे का progression and series में ये सब चीज याद रखना है. What this did to me was when I saw a question in the exam, I was able to kick in my knowledge of the notebook कि oh ऐसे का चीज था, and your retention will also increase if it's present in your notebook. So are you doing that right now? What is your plan to analyze your mock?
Like पता नहीं, लाइक एवरीवन लाइक एम्फसाइजेस सो मच ऑन एनालाइजिंग एंड मॉक, लेकिन मुझे कुछ ऐसा उसमें लगता नहीं है कि लाइक आई कैन डू मच. तो लाइक बहुत ज्यादा तो नहीं करता मैं, बट कुछ क्वेश्चंस जो गलत होते हैं, लाइक जो कॉन्सेप्ट मुझे लगता है मैं नहीं कर सकता था. अभी लाइक मैंने एक रिसेंटली एक मॉक दिया था, उसमें लाइक मॉड प्लस मॉड का ग्राफ था. तो लाइक उसके नीचे एक आपने वीडियो भी अटैच किया हुआ था. तो लाइक वो मैंने देखा, वो मैंने लिख लिया कि ओके अगर ऐसा क्वेश्चन आया तो ऐसा करना है. लेकिन पीपल से कि लाइक तुम्हें 4 घंटा स्पेंड करना है, 5 घंटा स्पेंड करना है, वो तो मेरे से नहीं होता लाइक एक मॉक पे.
Everyone has their own timeline, तो उसका टेंशन मत करो. What I want is कि you know the frameworks so that you don't become blank in the actual exam. So this is your mock 1 and you've completed 2 other mocks also. So do you recall what was the formula for this?
Actually मुझे बायनोमियल भी करना है, so I had it planned today. ठीक है.
अभी more than mock strategy, because I know कि you are understanding time management, sans this question where you spend way too much time because the logic did not click in.
I was done with all the questions and then I attempted this. Yeah.
Then वही. So talking to you, I'm understanding कि time management है, you know what to do. तुमको मालूम है question skip करना है. You understand कि क्या कर सकते हैं, क्या नहीं कर सकते हैं. Right now, you need to focus more on increasing your conceptual base. You have 3 different problems. Number 1, there are a few topics which you need to clear and you're not sure how to do it. I'm telling you, कैसे binomial नहीं मालूम है, ये solution से समझ लो how this logic is working. Why it is n by 2 plus 1. Then there's also this big formula, no? NCR, उसके बाद a to the power n minus r, b to the power n, ऐसे का एक formula है binomial में. Understand how that is working. And बाद में, go to topics over here. सब तीनों एग्जाम दे दो. Let's see binomial इसमें किसमें होता है.
I think so modern maths.
हाँ. एक ही क्वेश्चन है, cool. उतना आता भी नहीं है, but yes, get those 2 formulas done and you'll be good to go. There's nothing apart from that and Pascal's triangle. So once you do this, हो गया खत्म binomial theorem. Matrices and determinants तो बहुत सारे questions हैं. You know the base at least, वो तो cover हो जाएगा somehow or the other.
Yeah, like मैंने 12th में पढ़ा तो हुआ है, ऐसी बात नहीं है कि बिल्कुल ब्लैंक है.
Yes.
Like बस एक दिन, I think so एक दिन मैक्स मुझे स्पेंड करना उस पे.
हाँ,
So like
do
अब
it.
मुझे है कि मैं करूँ
Hmm.
कि नहीं करूँ.
करो. You have 10 days. This should be a priority right now. Because I'm seeing your mock, you know how to attempt the paper. अब ये चीज देखो, ऐसे का questions है. Just look at the solutions of each question and try to learn the logic behind it, and your entire topic will be over since you already have the base.
Hmm.
So कैसे ये question है? You need to know what is the meaning of trace, what is skew symmetric. Even if you have learned, forgotten, ऐसे revision कर दो. I think this itself will solve 80% of your problem.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
ठीक है फिर like and like मुझे फिर पहले रिवीजन करना चाहिए या फिर पहले टॉपिक्स खत्म करूँ.
ये topics खत्म कर दो.
ओके ओके पहले टॉपिक्स खत्म
हाँ.
करते हैं.
So what we say is कि mock analysis when you're doing SMA, you have a mix of topics, and because of which your revision is also happening, and you're learning new things also.
Hmm.
But the problem is when people learn new things in mocks, they tend to forget it unless they note it down properly. And it's not like question pura dekho, answer pura dekho. Just write frameworks. Keep a separate notebook, like interesting facts about your own way of attempting or your own thought process when you see questions like these.
Okay.
So do you recall now how to solve this question?
Like no, I haven't solved this question.
Okay. Objective Abhi, if I am you, I'm going to open first question. I'm going to be like, okay, ye cheez hai. I'm going to open my notebook and I'm going to write binomial theorem, number of coefficient formula n by 2 plus 1. I'm going to write Pascal's triangle. I'm going to write the entire formula and I'm going to move ahead. Okay, then I'm going to go to question 2. You know it. This was a very basic question. Ye bhi basic tha. Then I'm going to go to question 4. I'm going to figure out what was the logic behind it, kya formula used hua tha, and I'm going to also use these bookmarks ताकि 3 days, 4 days before the exam, when you will again have the confusion कि अभी कैसे revise करना है, this will help you out. Because बाद में you can filter with all these different things which you earlier had a problem with, but if you solve it the second time after 5-6 days, your retention will be high. And if a similar concept comes in the actual exam, you'll be able to kick in that knowledge कि okay ऐसे हुआ था, and that relativity will help you out.
Yeah.
So when people say कि analyze mock, this is what you need to do.
Okay, I get it. And one more thing, like if you can help me with that.
हाँ.
कि whenever I attempt RCs, like I think so, मेरी reading speed is like very good. But like questions पढ़ता हूँ and I mark the answers and मेरे questions कभी like ऐसा नहीं होता कि RCs में कभी 100% accuracy आ रही हो. Questions गलत हो ही जाते हैं. आप first mock में देखो मेरे RCs में like मेरा बहुत जल्दी like मैंने पढ़ लिया था दोनों. Like I was able to comprehend and everything. लेकिन questions ऐसा लगता है कि like इतने tricky हैं, इतने ambiguous हैं, options इतने like mixed up है कि यार ये भी तो था, ये भी तो था. And like ये तो question ही समझ नहीं आ रहा, ये तो पूरा ही out of context चला गया. So like पता नहीं क्यों ऐसा लगता है कि क्वेश्चन इस पैराग्राफ से है ही नहीं, कहीं और से ही बनाए हैं.
So here the thing is, are you trying to advocate for one of the options? A lot of people when they read options, they try to see in the eyes of key by substituting the input data in the data set, and they're like, हाँ इधर लिखा था data set somewhere, so ये सही हो सकता है. And you're trying to advocate for the answers instead of trying to find faults with each of the option. Because even a tiny inaccuracy with an option can allow you to eliminate it immediately without having a second thought of it.
Like that's how I usually approach them कि like ठीक है इससे तो नहीं होगा ये.
हाँ.
But still there are some things and I think so like afterboards के mock में थोड़ा सा verbal tough है.
हाँ.
As compared to like बाकी mocks.
So over here, while the questions are easy, the options are a little tricky. Questions straightforward here most of the times.
Like, yeah, that's true.
Okay, let's look at this. After the heavy rains, the rivers began to fill up.
I was I did 3 times swell up and fill up, swell up and fill up. And at last I was like, okay, let's do fill up. The answer was like swell up, I guess.
हाँ, वही. हाँ, ये वाला तो वो question है with ये tricky question है which I personally made. And ये idiomatic phase है. A lot of people English में ना, they look at it from a very linguistic approach of language की, okay, they just read it out and they think कि वो answer आ जाना चाहिए. And if questions like that come 2 or 3, well and good. But if questions come where you actually need to put a lot of effort and thought into it, that is where the issues happen. So, this will be changed later for you. Here again, it's about you need to know the meaning of these words, and all these words have been used in IPMAT from two of the four options have been used in IPMAT from 2018 to 22.
I also know two only.
So that is the objective at verbal ability. If the paper is hard, obviously cutoff भी थोड़ा नीचे है.
And one more thing, like in like ACE mocks में VA sections में I am like reaching 100 के इधर उधर घूम रहा हूँ मैं. कभी 100 प्लस हो जाता है, कभी 100 से नीचे चला जाता हूँ. So like do you think like in 10 days में 10-12 days में like VA score और कैसे boost कर सकता हूँ मैं?
The best approach in the next 10 days is when you're giving mocks and you're looking at answers like these where you need to know the word ka meaning, you learn it from here. Apart from that, you go to vocabulary.com ka commonly confusing word. ये वाला. Have you seen that list?
Sorry, what?
ये वाला website का commonly confusing words.
Yeah, I've seen that.
This thing is a game changer. I have
Like,
seen I've seen 4-5 questions come from here, which are in IPMAT paper.
But this list is so long and like retain कैसे कर सकते हैं इतना सारा? Is it possible?
It is 100% possible because the way they're explaining it now, it's like a story, and it will be very helpful. क्योंकि see, even if you cannot retain the exact meaning, you will know कि एक difference है ये दोनों चीज में. Like I believe ऐसा का कोई word came when I was writing the exam. Expedient and expeditious.
Okay.
So here says something expedient is helpful to you. Expeditious is speedy. Expedient is helpful, expeditious, speedy. And बाद में you just do थोड़ा सा revision of it, couple of days before the exam. And I've seen Vani do this in the last 1 week, and she was able to remember, 95% of this during the day of exam.
Okay, I should do this then.
This thing is the best approach for English at least. उसके बाद whenever you're free, you'll just on your mobile, वो idioms and phrasal verbs का list is always available.
Like the thing is, मैंने idioms and phrases पे इतना emphasize कर चुका हूँ. Like I have made a list on my iPad and it's like gone to 650 idioms.
Okay, then ठीक है.
अब ना वो कहते हैं ना saturation point. अब मन नहीं करता idioms पढ़ने का.
कोई नहीं. But I think your English is good only. The place where you're getting wrong, it is a lot to do with you remembering the idiomatic phrase or you remembering that exact meaning of the entire thing. Because I'm telling you, if the same level of IPMAT 2022 comes this year, last year the cutoff was 112. This year the cutoff can become 125. And I'm not trying to scare you, but this is the honest truth. And when people see high numbers, did you have commerce or PCM?
Commerce.
एक चीज है ना statistics में one of the biggest limitations of averages and numbers is कि it's an absolute value. That is what gets applicable here when people see a number of 100 plus in VA. What is the point of 100 plus in VA if the cutoff becomes 130? Just like what is the point of 380 marks in Rotak when the cutoff becomes 409?
Yeah, literally.
So I want this mindset to be developed. Ki even if it's 62, it's good. You only lost the cutoff by 8 marks. And if the cutoff was 112, your mark would have been 104. So don't get worried about this. Because if you're getting worried here after the exam, imagine the stress you might have during the exam thinking ki, you're not able to solve a lot of English questions.
No, like in this case, I think like I'm very chill. Like मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता मुझे कितना आ रहा है. तो लाइक मैंने ऐसा किया था इस मॉक के बाद मैं परसेंटाइल की वेबसाइट पे गया. दे हैव द 2022 का पेपर एज अ मॉक टेस्ट. तो मैंने क्या किया, दोनों कॉन्ट्स के सेक्शन स्किप कर दिए एंड आई गेव ओनली द वर्बल. आई गॉट 115 एंड आई वाज लाइक ठीक है थोड़ा चिल है.
वही तो if the paper is hard, it is hard for everybody. But apart from that, you know what to do. Learn things by analyzing mock in the way of writing frameworks in your notebook so you remember it. And बाद में you retain the same knowledge by doing your topic of filtration. Everything done then?
And I can leave trigonometry, right? To some extent, like
to some extent.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Bhaiya. Okay.
Anytime. Okay, who's next? I think my laptop is working thoda better now, so we can keep the video on. Yes, Mahir Rai. Let me quickly open up. And meanwhile, do tell ki what's your journey so far, Abhi, what problems you're facing, and how we can be of help to you.
Hello, Bhaiya. It's like
Hi.
being preparing for Rohtak, na, the main disadvantage what I like on
Hmm.
somewhere are indoors preparation. So
Hmm.
it's really difficult for me to learn algebra. Matlab, I have been with maths in my 12th,
Hmm.
but it's been a year already. I have forgot the basic things, but still I got into the things and I was like, huh, this could be possible. Whereas
Hmm.
in your mocks, I guess these seems easy to be doing, but they are kind
Hmm.
of tricky, and I like it over there. And it's somewhere my VA is weak, and
Hmm.
on quants I get a little bit time issues.
Okay, देखते हैं. Also, can you quickly personal message me your password? The one which you shared right now is showing incorrect.
If that's okay, could I give you two, because I am confused too, like.
Don't worry. एक forgot password का mail गया है to your email. Use Google link and change it. Is it all right if we do next? Meanwhile, if someone else also wants to come.
Sure.
All right, Lakshya Gupta, aja. Let me open your mock quickly. Lakshya, am I audible? You can also, if you're comfortable, please do show your video. We can have a conversation. Tell me what you've done so far. और अभी problem क्या आ रहा है?
Okay, yeah.
हाँ.
It's my first time. Like, okay, yeah.
Don't worry.
I'm
सोचो
a
कि
bit-
interview practice हो जाएगा.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Don't worry. It's a safe space. Hi.
Yeah.
I'm seeing you in my big monitor over there. All right. ठीक है. Let's see. All right. You have rank 14 and 108 marks. Your timing is good, but you are able to see problem कहाँ है. Question picking में problem है. So tell
Actually,
me.
this yeah. So ये 108 नंबर अभी तक के मेरे लोएस्ट है, मुझे पता नहीं कैसे आ गए. Like I was like पिछले 2 मॉक से मेरा स्कोर बहुत ज्यादा गिरते जा रहा है. पहले मेरे 130 से 150 आ जाते थे.
ठीक है.
एंड एस मॉक्स में भी आई हैव स्कोर्ड लाइक 156 हाईएस्ट आई गेस. तो वो थोड़ा मुझे सही लगा था. एंड बट द मेन प्रॉब्लम इज माय वीए. लाइक वीए मेरे से नहीं होता. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैथ्स में कर लूंगा, चाहे से मैं मतलब अच्छा स्कोर कर सकता हूँ मैथ्स में. जो क्वेश्चन मैंने छोड़े हैं वो भी मुझे लगता है कि मैं ये कर सकता था, बहुत इजीली कर सकता था, बट ये छूट गए मेरे से किसी ना किसी चक्कर में. बट वीए तो मैं मतलब मेरे वीए में पिछले मैंने 6-7 मॉक से मेरे 55 से 65 ही आ रहे हैं. वीए हो ही नहीं रहा. उसमें सब कुछ कर लिया, लाइक उसमें हो ही नहीं रहा वीए में कुछ भी.
ठीक है. अभी एजेस देख लो. इफ यू आर एमिंग फॉर इंडोर नाउ, इफ यू कैन जस्ट क्लियर वीए का कट ऑफ, but ऐसे और एमसीक्यू में you can really reach to the sky, पूरा maximize कर सकते हो, तो your ATS will also increase, because of which your overall chances of getting selection will increase. ठीक है. तो अभी VA में let's have the first look and figure out कि कहाँ improvement हो सकता है, and then we'll jump to max. So what do you do first? Do you start with the RCs or do you do from question 13?
Like in this mock I have tried something new, so that's why I think my score went down. But usually I start with RC and then go to other question. But in this I start with fill in the blanks and all.
That's not an issue. All the mocks are just for experimentation. ना इधर ही experiment करेगा तो actual exam में you will be able to figure out कि what is the best strategy for you personally tried and tested. So वो commendable है कि it's good that you're experimenting with strategies. So here you started off with this question, and makes sense. So ये सब words में, how have you prepared the meanings of all these phrasal verbs and idioms?
Like मैंने एक लिस्ट बना रखी है, जैसे मयंक ने कहा, I have done the same. I have prepared a list of idioms and phrases, and I have like 200 to 300, and उसको रोज रिवाइज भी करता हूँ, बट वो रिटेन ही नहीं हो पाता.
ठीक है. अभी my question है, when you saw this question, put on a brave face, show ass and mask, are you confident कि you know the exact meaning of each and every word? क्योंकि ये सब चीज में ना ग्रामर सही होगा. So when you try to sound the sentences in your head, सब सही लगेगा, unless you know the exact differences between these four options.
No, I didn't know the exact meaning.
So Abhi, when you look at solutions here now, you know what? Honestly, you can just right click here and go Google में भी देख सकते हो. Put on a brave face is to act as if something unpleasant or upsetting is not as bad as it really is. So in your notebook, when you're doing VM, even if you have 200 lists of words, it's good. But for retention, are you writing like the entire meaning and the word, or are you trying to put some symbols and drawings, or how are you trying to retain it?
Like जैसे लिखा वैसे वैसे लिख देता हूँ और फिर उसको एक दो दिन में पढ़ता रहता हूँ.
I feel like this could be an issue क्योंकि when we try to learn something or exactly memorize things which are not in our mother tongue, मुश्किल हो जाता है याद रखने में.
Yes, exactly.
So अभी ऐसे करो, put on a brave face, हिंदी में क्या बोलेंगे?
So इसको
हाँ. Try to think of, हाँ बोलो.
कुछ बुरा हुआ लेकिन वो इतना बुरा,
हाँ कुछ बुरा हुआ बट दिखा नहीं रहा है कि बुरा हुआ है, वही ना. So basically try to make a diagram or something कि okay ऐसे का हुआ है. So when you do that, your retention will increase because you cannot literally sit and memorize the meanings like these in English for 200 different words, and that is not the way to proceed for the next 10 days. And even if you use similar words like charade or facade, it does not represent the actual meaning of this. So Hindi में लिख दो या फिर just make like 3-4 words. Bad thing, but does not show bad thing.
No.
Like this is
like इंग्लिश में कंफर्टेबल हूँ, समझ में आ जाता है.
हाँ.
बस वो याद नहीं होता बस. ऐसे तो कंफर्टेबल हूँ, लाइक आरसी भी समझ में आती है, हो जाता है बस वो. और मेरे वीए में भी मुझे ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम इसी पोर्शन पड़ती है, फ्रेजेस और इडियम्स में. और ये आरसी में भी अभी गलत हुआ है, बाकी अच्छी एक्यूरेसी आ जाती है आरसी में मेरी एवरेज
दिख रहा है. तो right now in your notebook or the page में, honestly, instead of revising all the 200 words, whenever you come across new things, write it and write the definition in a manner कि याद हो सकता है. Even though it is not the most elaborate definition, even if it's diagram or picture या 4-5 words, लिखो कैसे याद हो सकता है. Because right now, if you learn put on a brave face, अभी you know the meaning, right? अभी put on a show का देख लेते हैं. Put on a show meaning it her. And you know, put somewhere for people to see. Her paintings are on a show at the art gallery. Artifacts will be put on show in the museum. तो अभी समझ आ गया what is the meaning of all of this. Right. Abhi, similarly, if I were you, I would just draw a painting and be like in museum. तो समझ आ जाता है मुझे. And next time if I try to recorrect it, I might not remember the exact English definition, but वो picture के कारण I will know the meaning. And in verbal ability, it is not like an English exam in 11th and 12th की लिखना पड़ेगा बहुत. इसमें सिर्फ टिक मार्क करना है. तो सिर्फ मीनिंग याद होना है, even if you are not able to express the meaning in the best possible manner. So एक बार with the mocks that you are given or this mock itself, try to do this while all the 4 options का meaning is written in a manner for you to remember the meaning. क्योंकि understanding तो हो जाता है फट से. Remembering के लिए लिखो, and tomorrow morning just look at these 4 options and see if you're able to recall the exact meanings of all these 4 options. Right. Okay, so put on as is to act in a way that shows one thinks one is better than other people. So I will just recall a friend of mine who acts in this pretentious manner. कोई this
Mhm.
person or something. समझ आ जाएगा. Okay, he's putting on as. This is the meaning of this word. Or politicians put on as. So ये सब चीज होगा. And finally, when you come back to it, याद हो जाएगा. What are the different meanings? So try this approach once.
Yeah, and like मैंने 5-6 दिन पहले प्रीवियस ईयर का वीए अटेम्प्ट करा था. उसमें मेरे अच्छा स्कोर आ गया था. उसमें मेरे कट ऑफ से 2 या 3 नंबर पीछे था. उसमें अच्छा आ गया था, लेकिन आज तक के एक भी मॉक में मैं 70+ नहीं जा पा रहा. तो ये पता नहीं, या तो मॉक का प्रेशर है, या फिर क्योंकि वो मैंने जो प्रीवियस ईयर का अटेम्प्ट करा था वो मैंने ऐसे ही साइट पे खोल के अटेम्प्ट कर लिया. मतलब उसको एज अ मॉक अटेम्प्ट नहीं करा था. तो उसमें मेरा अच्छा स्कोर आ गया था. बट
You attempted 2022 का या all the previous years?
आई थिंक 2021 का था. आई थिंक
ठीक है.
21.
हाँ, so एक साल का नहीं हुआ है ना, उसका एक बार मॉक टाइप का अटेम्प्ट कर दो. लाइक मयांक शायद वो परसेंटाइल में, just open that VA section and try to attempt that as a mock and see if you're able to find some amount of discrepancies there.
अब तो वो जाएंगे, क्योंकि अब तो मैंने सारे प्रीवियस ईयर के
ओ देख लिया क्या?
अटेम्प्ट कर रहा. हाँ, अब तो देख रखे
ओके 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 ओके. फिर छोड़ो, डोंट वरी टू मच अबाउट इट. अभी मॉक स्कोर्स खराब भी है. जस्ट थिंक ऑफ इट कि you're learning a new word or you're learning new things which could come in the actual exam. तो अभी ये हो गया है. And do you recall these full meanings अभी?
अभी
ठीक है, अभी तो याद हो सकता है क्योंकि we just discussed it.
पुट ऑन ईयर्स का तो वो था जो सॉरी.
Don't worry, be confident. Don't worry. Maybe you're someone who learns by writing it. Maybe listening is not someone's strong point, because I also learn from writing it. I don't learn from listening or looking at it. So trust me, एक बार notebook में लिख दो, and because of that, your retention will increase. Right now, your problem is not in understanding. Your problem is in remembering. And remembering का कोई secret नहीं है, apart from finding out what works for you and then following that. लिखो ये सब notebook पे, and try again tomorrow for these particular words and mocks, and do it for every mock that you're doing, because that is the best way to analyze all of these options.
Yeah.
So are you having any trouble with time management in VA?
नो. टाइम तो मतलब ज्यादा दिक्कत नहीं करता है. सही है.
ठीक है, वो ठीक है.
बट वो आंसर नहीं बनते, बस ये दिक्कत है. टाइम का तो इतना इशू मुझे अभी तक नहीं हुआ मॉक में.
I'm seeing grammar also wherever possible you're getting it right. But have you analyzed this mock case of solution खोल के you've seen the answers?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, if you've done that and you still don't recall the meanings of these words now, then analysis का purpose fulfill नहीं हुआ. Analysis is कि you will learn the meanings of these words so that if the same thing comes in the actual exam, you will not make these mistakes. So make sure you figure out by trying this technique if you're able to recall these meanings. Because that is very essential. Even though maths mein you have to learn a lot of formula, in English you have to learn a lot of meanings. There's no escape from this. People think there's an escape because they're listening to English from their childhood and they're like, हाँ याद तो है बहुत सारा चीज. But that will not work out if the options are very similar. वो commonly confusing words type का हो जाए तो.
Yeah, like VA में सेंटेंस करेक्शन भी मेरे सही हो जाते हैं, बट मेनली वोकैब ही करती है मेरे मार्क्स डाउन. बाकी हो जाता है.
हाँ, तो वोकैब का मीनिंग आई थिंक what we have identified right now is vocabulary याद रखना is a pain point. One of the potential solution is change your way of remembering things. Instead of just looking at it or reading it or writing it in the entire manner, try to write it in a manner that you are able to recollect it the very next day. Okay, so for now, if I ask you, what's the meaning of tenacity?
No, I don't.
To do it in a way that you will remember it. I think tenacity is like headstrong, pursuance or something. Courage, matter, spirit, resolution. अभी समझ आ गया कि courage, bravery, tenacity. So try to associate this with something also. That helps a lot. So one thing if I think immediately, I'm like, okay, Lord Rama was full of tenacious personality. He had a lot of tenacity क्योंकि वो metal and resolution था as a king. So if I remember this, I'll quickly think about that. So association of memory is also something that you can look into to improve the way you remember things. ठीक है, I know कि थोड़ा मुश्किल है, there's no shortcut answer, and when I look at your mock, you know how to attempt it. Time management में problem नहीं हो रहा है. Attempt a little more, and उसका confidence आ जाएगा when you actually sit and remember the meanings of all these words. And उसके लिए do the thing which I suggested now.
या ठीक है.
उसके बाद मैसेज में ऑल्सो कि हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है, बिकॉज सोचो मैथ्स में
हाँ,
फॉर्मूला
हाँ.
याद ही नहीं है, like you do not know what is cos 45 या you do not know how to multiply two matrices, question proceed ही नहीं होगा. Similar logic for VA. ठीक है, don't be afraid. 10 days में I'm pretty sure you can cover at least 200-300 words, and उसमें से couple तो आ ही जाएगा. So one definitely do that, and that will help you out. Is there anything else I can help you with, इसमें? Like tell me exactly कहाँ I can add value.
लाइक बस यही था VA में वो क्या फ्रेजेस और इडियम्स भी जो मेरे को याद है वो तो मैं जो याद है वो आता है वो तो कर देता हूँ. बस जो फ्रेजेस आते हैं फ्रेजल वर्ब्स, तो सबसे ज्यादा तो फ्रेजल वर्ब्स ही मेरे को परेशान करते हैं. बाकी हाँ मतलब यही वोकैब और फ्रेजल वर्ब इडियम. बाकी
अभी इसका मीनिंग याद है क्या? Put on a brave face.
नहीं.
ठीक है, I'm telling you, write it down. I feel like you
Yeah.
are someone who will remember a lot because you're remembering math formula. There's no deficiency with you. Math formula you remember because I'm pretty sure you have written it 200 times at least while practicing itna sara questions from your childhood. But you're not doing the same for English because no one is writing and practicing it like this. Do the same in the next coming days and एक ना एक तो difference आ ही जाएगा. ठीक है? अभी के लिए I'll tell you the meaning. Put on a brave face मतलब कुछ भी खराब चीज हुआ है, but you're not showing कि कुछ खराब चीज हुआ है. For example, the student put on a brave face after being unable to clear the cutoff.
Yes.
हो गया. Put on a show. The student decided not to pursue IPM and became a painter, and he put on a show in the museum for all his paintings. तो ये person अभी famous हो गया. So इतना famous हो गया, हमारा classmate ही है वो, but now he acts like he's better than us कि वो life में बहुत चीज उखाड़ लिया है और हम कोई है नहीं उसके सामने. So he's putting on as, he's showing that he's more important than he actually is. उसके बाद कोरोना आ गया, so he has put on a mask. So if you remember like this, now I'm going to again ask you, what's the meaning of put on a brave face?
Something bad happened, but you are not showing that.
Put on a show?
Like putting a picture on a show or artwork. Like,
showing off something, like dikhana. Abhi putting on as?
Showing off like.
Yes. कि you are more important than you really are. कि ऐसे दिखाना कि भाई इसका बाप ही पूरा दुनिया खरीद के रखा है. See, now you were able to remember that, right? Because I explained it in a manner which your memory is associating it with. So basically your problem now is retention, and retention का solution I shared and it seems to be working. So ये चीज करो, ठीक है?
Okay भैया.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that's it. Yeah. VME problem.
Don't worry, अभी यही चीज कर लो and all the best for your exam.
Thank you भैया.
Tension मत लो, and for interview also you spoke well even though you had थोड़ा stress, anxiety.
हाँ मैं
won't have first time है ना?
मतलब हाँ इसीलिए है. बाकी मैं ऐसे बोल लेता हूँ, इंग्लिश में बातें भी हो जाती है. मतलब इंग्लिश ऐसे अच्छी है बट एग्जाम देते वक्त VA में और ऐसे अभी आपसे मैं इंग्लिश नहीं बोल पा रहा बट ऐसे मैं बोल लेता हूँ.
Don't worry. Verbal ability और स्कूल का इंग्लिश बहुत डिफरेंट है और स्पोकन इंग्लिश और वर्बल एबिलिटी भी बहुत डिफरेंट है. So don't worry too much about that. ठीक है, अभी ये रिटेंशन का चीज करो 100%. Okay, do not become lazy for this.
पक्का पक्का.
ठीक है, पक्का. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you, Daksha. Okay, now we'll do Mahil Rai. You there?
Yes, I'm there.
All right, perfect. Let me quickly open up with what you had shared. Okay, perfect. It has opened. And you want me to analyze your mock 2, right?
If that's possible.
Kuch bhi. Not an issue. You tell me where you're facing problems, and I'll tell you what solutions I can provide to you to change your mindset and everything.
Basically, I'm not afraid of my marks. I'm afraid
है.
to attempt many of the questions and
हाँ.
they went wrong.
ठीक
The
है.
basic thing is that. And where it comes up essay and MCQs, I think the most probable mistake of mine is time issues. Whereas I think this question could be solved by me. It comes out to be tricky and wrong. Either wrong or tricky. I try to attempt essay questions furthermore because essay have no negative marking. So that is for MCQ. May I do little logic and then half of the solution and then I have put on something. ऐसे में इसलिए दिक्कत आ जाता है because they don't have options. I am a very much options optical person, so I opt for options more. And BMA, I don't know where I'm getting wrong. Most of the questions are wrong of the fill-up questions, where we have to be. They have very similar meaning or the meanings have not been known about. Secondly, I thought, I think till now, whatever I have learned, the vocabs, the idioms, the phrases, they never come in the exam, and I don't know what to do next.
1 minute. Can I open your mock 1? एक बार?
Sure.
No, if you're not comfortable, I won't open. Not a big issue. So, क्योंकि mock 1 में question आया था, piece of cake, slice of cake.
That was
cake
right.
हाँ. ठीक है. हाँ. क्योंकि कोई का question तो आएगा. Like, have you heard of this idiom? Have you done the previous year papers?
Not yet. I'm planning.
ठीक है. Is it okay if I spoil that paper by asking a few questions from it?
Okay.
Because I
analyze नहीं किया है अभी because I was going through the ACE mock. So,
have you heard the phrasal verb look down on, look up to?
Look up to is for someone's help, something related to help or getting an help. Maybe I don't know.
ठीक है. Or look down.
Give up.
Okay, if I say कि Mahi really looked up to her elder sibling or cousin, what will look up mean?
So मतलब किसी चीज के लिए when you try to I don't have that word. Look up मतलब जैसे किसी से आप inspire होते हो.
Yes, exactly. हाँ. Now you're finding the difference between your original answer and your new answer. So I think the thing is,
this I apply on the papers too. When it's given, I apply the logic. So most of them are my right because of that logic only. So that's basically.
That's good then. Abhi, my thing is, I understand कि options are something which help you, but हाँ भाई ज़्यादा options मत choose कर दो if you're not sure about it. क्योंकि दिख रहा है ना, rank अभी 49 है. Negative marks इतना नहीं हो जाता, 38 हो जाता. 10 ranks का difference. And that is amongst 100 students. So सोचो 1000 students है, 100 ranks का difference हो जाएगा with your negative marking alone. So let's have a look कि क्या हो रहा है maths में, क्या हो रहा है और सब चीज में. So one very important thing is कि please do sit and analyze कि अभी ये वाला question is a mental question, but you need to know the meaning of trace क्या है. You need to know what is skew-symmetric matrix. So ये सब चीज का meaning if you know, you will have an idea कि trace is nothing but a sum of all the diagonal elements. All diagonal elements तो 0 हो जाएगा. So वही चीज है कि you need to
ये
make
वाले
sure.
कुछ questions थे, some of these questions, after giving marks, I was like, why didn't I attempt it? Because
Yes.
they were easy. The question picking, matlab, what happens, I always think कि I will pick the right questions, but at the time of the mocks, I find out कि time ही नहीं मिला to see the other questions.
ऐसे करो, within 5-10 seconds, look at every question. And then if question is not happening within 30 seconds, reject the question, give up. कितना हुआ है, लिखा है rough work में, let it be. बाद में आके देख लेंगे. But if you feel like you're going nowhere with that question, give up. It is completely okay. 30 seconds waste हुआ, ठीक है. 30 seconds to waste हुआ, 2.5 minutes waste नहीं हुआ. तो ये वाला logic apply करो.
और I think कि रोहतक के हिसाब से चल रही थी मैं for according that format, so I missed on some modulus and function questions because of that. और एक वो लेवल सेट था, तो वो लेवल somehow broke down. तो I guess कि इंदौर में ऐसा कुछ है, तो इस वजह से आई एम गेटिंग अ डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज मैंने अभी तक सिर्फ 3 मॉक दिए हैं, वो भी टाइम के दिए हैं, और एक एस का. Whereas मतलब टाइम के मॉक्स में जनरली स्कोर्ड 140 130 ऐसा कुछ जाता है मेरा, बट whereas I don't think they being the most relevant questions among, मतलब I thought your were the most relevant and A's are the very good one. Like, so I scored 120 around in A's mock, and here it's somewhere I don't know what happened. और basically BA तो बहुत खराब है मेरा. मतलब RC में तो टाइम नहीं मिलता. एक RC करती हूँ. Firstly I go with the sum of the filling the blanks. Then I come to the next one RC. Then I go to other questions. And then I try because I seems to approach more easier RC in terms of language, so that थोड़े से वो कैप पे मेरे को एक अच्छा एज हो जाएगा. But when it मतलब वो वाला कर लेती हूँ तो एक या दो गलत होता है उसका, because questions are very similar and I think I have to practice little more about that. पैराजम्बल्स ट्राई करती हूँ. पैराजम्बल्स जो बहुत ही डिफिकल्ट लैंग्वेज के होते हैं, आई लीव देम. और जो मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि आई कैन डू इट, दे आर डूएबल, मतलब नॉट सो मच डिफिकल्ट फॉर मी. idioms, phrases, vocab are the main thing, because मैं उसी में जनरली रॉन्ग होती हूँ और आरसी के लिए टाइम नहीं मिलता.
ठीक है, ठीक है. फिर मैक्स में जस्ट एडवाइस वन थिंग, व्हेन ट्राइंग टू डू दिस क्वेश्चन मैनुअली, ये सब क्वेश्चंस डू इट एट द एंड. यू आर डूइंग इट एट द एंड ओनली, ना, कि कब when you went through all the questions of essay, उसके बाद टाइम बाकी था, इसलिए you were doing this manually.
नहीं, I wasn't doing it manually. I was recalling the terms, but went somewhere wrong. So that was conceptual mistake of.
ठीक है, डाल दो conceptual, क्योंकि trust me, बाद में 2-3 days before the exam, you will search for these errors that you did, and when you're actually able to solve. हाँ.
I did it for the mock one, which I've analyzed. I've
perfect.
4 hours, and I did everything and write on the copies every maths formula, English phrasal verb. I learned it in the morning, and RC दोबारा किए कि where I did wrong, and I'm still like, when I attempt the next mock, I'm like, again where did I wrong? Like, I don't have a.
Don't worry about it, क्योंकि ये सब चीज में ना इमीडिएट क्लिक हो जाना चाहिए कि इसका एलसीएम देखना है, एंड दैट्स इट. एलसीएम देखना है, एलसीएम का सीरीज देखना है, काम खत्म. एंड दैट इन इटसेल्फ
वही ट्रैक पे थी, मतलब ऑलमोस्ट बस वो एलसीएम वाला भी मैंने किया था. पता नहीं वो जो लास्ट में 100 टर्म्स ऑफ एज ग्रेटर देन 10th वाला आ रहा है, आई वेंट रॉन्ग देयर and I totally blank out, and I was like, just leave it out. Like,
makes sense. But one thing is good कि okay, you are analyzing it, you're learning everything. So right now कोई भी question mock 1 से आएगा, you'll be able to do ना, कोई भी phrasal verb, if I ask you from that, you'll be able to tell the meaning of that. Okay, what's the meaning of cakewalk?
Cakewalk. Easy. It seems to be easy, but somewhere not short term, I guess.
No, just easy. It's a very easy task.
Okay.
हाँ, like IPMAT Rohtak seems to be a cakewalk when compared to IPMAT Indore. वैसे, it's a pleasant experience. Park में walk you're doing वैसे का type of thing, which again brings to one more idiom. It's a walk in the park. बहुत आसान, pleasant, calm. So when you're also analyzing idioms and phrases, try to search for similar idioms. So क्या होगा? एक ही meaning याद रखना है, and then you can club like 15 different idioms for that particular meaning. So it becomes very simple for you to also recall at the end कि हाँ ये सब एक ही branch और एक ही basket में है, उसका सब meaning भी एक ही है. So that works out. ठीक है. So here you're able to solve the question after your mock, but while giving the mock click नहीं होता है, and you also need to learn to move on with questions if it's not coming up. Be very confident in rejecting questions in 10 seconds also. You start solving it, so like, you know what, time lag sakta hai ye question mein, I'll come back to it, and you can come back to it if you solve all those questions. So ये logic है ना कि ABC अभी करो, बाद में करो, छोड़ दो. And a lot of people think कि कोई easy question है तो अभी करना है, but you only need to do the questions that are easy and short. So वो सब चीज अभी करो, because then you will get the confidence कि ठीक है ये होगा. Because if you find an easy question और फिर लंबा हो गया and कहाँ भी silly mistake हो गया, you might spend 3 minutes, 4 minutes onto it, and it's just not something which is recommended for that. Here you skip the DI completely, no?
I also need a basic, like, मुझे ये नहीं पता कि what are some of the main topics. Whereas I saw your like indoors you have posted on or PDF, I don't remember. But उसमें जो थे ना, I'm going with the high weightage questions because I think I have like I'm not remembering some of the concepts of the earlier topics which I've learned. And secondly, I could go on with the progression series, I guess. Time, speed, distance, averages, some of these topics. Is that okay? मतलब सारे करने पड़ेंगे कि main important topics I could go with?
Start with the main important topics. Time बचेगा तो सब खत्म कर दो, क्योंकि our main idea is कि we are trying to put every type of question in the mock. When you use the topics and you filter with that particular क्या बोलते progression and series, and you have like 20 questions at the end of the day here, and if you're able to solve all the 20, you are all in good hands for like most 80 to 85% of IPMAT Indore questions. So that is something that we are trying to work on. And that clears your entire revision also by doing all these various type of questions. Because what is your initial plan for revision? Like what were you planning to do?
As of revision, I revised formula.
Okay.
And I have a notebook made which have mocks, the important questions which I got into the mocks and I wasn't able to, not the conceptual one, the difficult one. I go with them because I think that's the only way. And for verbal, I go with idioms. Vocab, I have been making some of the charts of vocab. And nothing else, I think.
This makes sense. One more thing, concept which I learned was someone who works in McKinsey. He told me that when you're learning all this theory now and you're making notes and all, it's good for one reason. कि idea आ जाता है, conceptual clarity हो जाता है, and you know what is the first step that you need to do when you come to actual field work. But when you do only field work after that, that is when you will get that battle IQ. Normal max IQ ठीक है, English IQ ठीक है, but exam में, if you're getting a max का question and you're able to solve it in a manner कि ठीक है, MCQ में, if you look at this and you're like ठीक है, ये whole number हो ही नहीं सकता, 2 and 9, immediate rejection. That increases your entire accuracy of how you do it. And that comes when you might not even need to solve the entire thing. Even if it's up to here, you'll be able to figure out कि okay, log A5 हो ही नहीं सकता है, because we are having in this step, ठीक है, ये question done, next. Like complete confidence in yourself कि I have eliminated 3 of the options, one of them has to be right, this is the thing, and you will shave off 10 seconds, 15 seconds, or even 30 seconds out of it. So stuff like these of complete confidence elimination and complete confidence moving on to go to a next question is something which you will get if you do a lot of mocks. And this will also help you because at the end of the day, सोचो ये सब चीज रिविजन हो रहा है. you might remember the properties and all of these formulas. Okay, APGP mein you have A by 1 minus R for infinite GP. But if you're applying it, you will somehow or the other, you will never be able to forget it. So your objective will not be to remember the formula. Your objective is for the thought process of the formula. So give a lot of mocks in the next 10 days. And every question, samajh lo, see how you can go forward and, reduce time. Because I know that you are someone who would have been able to solve few of these questions if you sit and solve now. Because of the time pressure and you not being able to come to this question, हुआ नहीं. And इसमें प्रॉब्लम है, टाइम नहीं है. तो सोल्यूशन क्या है? कम टाइम यूज करो हर क्वेश्चन में. और इसका एक्चुअल सोल्यूशन कैसा है? एलिमिनेट ऑप्शंस and with complete confidence tick the correct one. And questions which you're not able to get, even if they're easy, दिख रहा है कि सिर्फ फॉर्मूला बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है, ज्यादा सोचने का नहीं है, बट इफ द वर्किंग इज हार्ड, इफ द लेंथ ऑफ द क्वेश्चन इज हार्ड, बाद में कर सकते हैं.
One more thing, like मेरे को VA के लिए I need some
definitely. हाँ.
Negatives are much. And eventually attempts are like मेरे हिसाब से attempts भी थोड़े से कम है. अगर सारे होते तो मे बी मेरे मार्क्स डबल थोड़े से ज्यादा हो सकते थे, irrespective of negative. तो
your net score could have been more, but again, it is all a gamble. क्योंकि सोचो एक RC है, you get 4 of them right, but 3 of them wrong, and then over here you get all of them wrong. You know what? ये example में you would have actually gotten like +4 marks. But point being, in RC, over here, like, what is your objective in RC? Do you like read the entire passage, then come here, then again go back to the passage and again come to the option?
I don't go back. I just read the passage to the answers. Or either if I'm confused, I मतलब मैं पढ़ के मुझे इतना समझ में आता था कि कौन से पैसेज में किसकी बात हो रहा है. So if I'm little bit confused too, so I go on the specific passage or line or somewhere I have been remembered. So like that, I don't go again.
And how is your reading speed? Do you think वो भी थोड़ा improve हो सकता है?
Reading speed कम है. अभी फिलहाल काफी अच्छी है, पर पहले से compare.
That's good then.
But it's still 10 days left, so I guess more or less there can't be much thing I could do. Thing.
अभी कितना हो गया? That's good enough for this. One trick, I'm not sure if this is the most helpful, but because you're already spending so much time in RC, maybe use one mock to figure this out. In the next mock that you give, this is something I used to do after reading every passage now. My biggest problem is that I used to forget kaha tha, that particular thing. So I used to quickly make one diagram talking about what this passage is telling me. So कैसे here we are talking about burnout है, काम नहीं हो रहा है, ये word है stachynovism. So I will just write stachynovism and in Hindi I will like काम नहीं हुआ. That's it. So while reading the passage, I used to make stuff like these in the same order as the passage. And then it somehow or the other, because I'm someone who learns by reading, by writing things. याद होता है मुझे वैसे. If I just read, I will not remember anything at the end of the day. So just try this out. Maybe because you're already spending time in RC. Maybe if you spend 1 minute more, it gives you 8 more marks. So because IPMAT में, while you might not get the most direct questions, not all the questions will be inferential in nature. कोई ना कोई directly हो सकता है, especially in RCs here. And if you feel like this is somewhere you can score marks, focus on the RCs than these things if you're unable to recall the meanings and words and everything. क्योंकि RC में answer तो है, answer सिर्फ निकालना है. And if you're confident in your skill to remove it, even if you put a couple more minutes such that these questions were not attempted, it's okay. You're compromising 2 marks here, including the positive and the negative, but you might get 3 questions correct here. So play to your strengths also. And this is like an advice for the last 10 days. And it may work, it may not work, but next mock may try this approach out. If you feel like idioms and phrasal verbs are your weak point, focus on a point where you can definitely get marks and be very confident in eliminating answers and never advocating for an option. सोचो मत कि ये भी करेक्ट हो ही सकता है, कुछ तो कुछ है ही. Do not think like that. Think कि इसमें ये point mention नहीं है, it feels incorrect because of that, eliminate, done, finish, and look into something else. And because I remember ye wala RC mein, there are 3 questions which are very direct. And had you सोचो पैरा जंबल्स या इसमें you did not, वो बड़ा questions ऐसे है, what if you did not spend too much time in these big questions, but you allocated the same time for the RC? Maybe the marks would have been a different story. So try to play to your strengths once and see if it works. If it works, well and good. If not, again, come back to the drawing board and see where you can focus on. And to learn all these things to increase your conceptual clarity, you know what to do. You are writing it. You are trying to remember it. So अब वही चीज है, कितना याद हो सकता है at the end of the day. Okay, so slippery slope, double standards, moving goalposts, flip-flopping. You have to analyze this mock, no? So once you do, try to remember and recollect and retain this information. It is completely okay ki, 5 minutes before you sleep, you just come back and try to answer these questions, and definitely do the vocabulary list ka these words. I promise you, I write and give, एक word will definitely come from this web page for the exam, because it's impossible a word from here will not come.
Okay. The thing is, कि जो Phillips वाले questions होते हैं, I think they seems to be very much like कि I am able to do that. Again, they fill out to be very, मतलब, I don't know, but somewhere they get wrong, and I'm 50-50 sure of that. Ki if they will turn out to be right or turn out to be wrong. So, and RC, like after doing a RC, I am like ki abhi time bahut kam hai, so I have to rush to the other questions so that I can attempt more. But I think ki through that I have like practice RC much, like whole 2 months I practice RC, whereas I think I have to attempt RC more than these questions, because verbal is somewhere you are not sure of these things, but you can be sure of RC somewhere. So I will definitely try for that.
Because I feel like you are someone who has studied RC because you put effort in reading speed, you put effort in RCs compared to para completion or para jumbles.
I have put time on para jumbles, but para jumbles is like कि अगर आपको language, if you are not known with the language, now you are wrong. So definitely you are wrong. So I don't like this one 5 liners. I don't judge on the liners, I judge on the language, and especially I spend 1 minute. If it's okay, I am like okay. मैं जैसे इसमें 21-3-1 I like make the linkages which are said. But linkage somewhere इधर उधर तो उधर हो गया वो गलत.
But so apart from that, I'm seeing कि ये सब तो सही है. देखो 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are correct. Only 1 is wrong, which is okay, completely normal. That is very good only. But
grammar I used to revise grammar within 3 days, but still it's like कि यहाँ पे pronoun गलत होना चाहिए, यहाँ पे ये गलत होना चाहिए, and it's come out to be something else. कि यहाँ पे ये हो सकता था. For that I'm analyzing it, how much I could. I'm practicing with my material, but again, if there's any suggestion for grammar.
Basically, वो notebook में अच्छे से लिख दो कि when is something used. So here I think it's past perfect. I had missed. So the train arrived late and I had missed. So the chronology ऊपर नीचे हो जाता है because of it. You're referring to something which happened.
इधर मैंने क्या सोचा, what I thought कि had is something past का past in simple term. So I thought कि train missed and I arrived late. These are two past things. So I put out like that way.
तो क्या हुआ first train late हुआ या movie miss हो गया?
Arrived late, I guess.
So train late आया, इसके कारण movie का first 15 minutes नहीं हुआ. So that is the meaning that they're trying to say with the past tense over here. I missed the train arrived late and I missed the first 14 minutes. The train arrived late and I had missed the first 15 minutes. थोड़ा different हो जाता है. So basically write all these errors that you had made कि past perfect essay use हो जाता है. And in Google, you have a lot of cute infographics and graphs also, which give all of these अच्छे से पूरा timeline बना के. So have a look at that. But apart from that, try this new strategy out. And questions like these, reading speed, if that is something which you do not want to compromise on, look at it later कब time बाकी होगा, क्योंकि ये answer hit or miss हो सकता है. But RC में थोड़ा और chance है to get it right. So yeah, I won't
With
flog
one
the dead horse.
aspect, I can strike 5 questions or 6 questions, whatever that is.
हाँ.
तो उधर एक आध भी गलत होता है ना, तो that's fine. But you are getting around 20 or 16
Exactly.
marks somewhere.
So try this out and let me know.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Anytime. Yes, Murid Manfrey. We'll do your mock next.
Yes, bhai.
Oh, उसके after Murid, we'll do Mano. ठीक फिर Murid. Let me open your mock. एक second. So meanwhile, बोल दो कि what's your journey so far and where you're facing problems and सीन क्या है?
Actually facing problem in managing time in MCQ section, and because the pattern was changed in the mock one due to there were 40 questions and there were originally 30 questions in IPMAT MCQ. So I discovered later that there are 40 questions, so I was not able to manage time and scored less than what I could.
Also, can you confirm your password एक बार? क्योंकि the one which you shared right now, it's coming as incorrect. So एक बार just have a look at the password and personal Zoom में एक बार message कर दो. Meanwhile, we'll see कि chat में क्या हो रहा है, because I'm not seeing the chat at all for so long. Yes, Urvashi, the parajumpers carry -1 if they are unanswered. Yes, those are a lot of people say कि my accent is like Chatur from Three Idiots. Abhay Shenoy, you need to ask Abhay Shenoy that.
I messaged.
Okay, let me have a look. All of this are in low caps, na? Murid monthly 249@gmail.com.
Yes, correct.
I'm getting error, wrong password. एक बार, can you just reset your password or something else and send it over?
Yes.
ठीक है. I send an email to you for password reset. But हाँ, till then we'll take a क्या बोलते हैं 2-minute break. और कोई questions है क्या that people are having कि सीन क्या है और Sorry, Ulvashi, they carry -1 if you answer them incorrect. Unanswered questions have no negative marking whatsoever. Unanswered questions have no negative marking. -1 is only for incorrect answers. My bad. I thought she was asking if -1 होगा या -1 नहीं होगा, क्योंकि short answer में there's no -1. Short answer में you can attempt everything. So after you finish every question that you possibly know, try to guess things, in a very intelligent manner. I remember Vani telling me once she put 72 for one question, which she thought could be the answer in essay, and it was +4 marks more. So, and if you do not know anything, sab kuch 0-1 kuch dal do. That would also work out. So we are seeing 71% of the people said ki. Okay. Murid has changed. Okay, cool. Let's do Murid ka thing. Okay, perfect. We are in. Let's open your mock. Arya Patel, the expected chapters for modern math. We have a PDF in our website that shows all of these. If Vani is there, she can link it in the chat. Okay, Marit, I'm going to share the screen. Abhi main issue है कि you're unable to manage time ठीक से, right?
Yes, and scoring less in verbal.
ठीक है. अरे सही है 81. That's good. ठीक है, but let's have a look कि क्या हो सकता है. This mock में the essay and MCQ were relatively easy and the VA was hard. And the cutoffs decided by us based on the top 300 attempts was कि essay with 36 होगा, MCQ 40 होगा और VA 70 होगा. So right now the biggest issue I'm seeing here is कि MCQ में you have only 22 marks. And even in your question picking, you have missed out on 6 more questions, which could be 24 more marks, which could have been solved easily. So let's identify the time has been eaten by what particular thing here. DI में तो time नहीं गया, right?
Actually, I have not solved DI, and I discovered late that there are 40 questions, and
Okay,
that the questions at last are way more easier than at starting.
Yes. So Abhi, I feel like you've already had an understanding कि एक चीज समझो 2019 में the question paper was of 400 marks 20 40 40. 2020 और 2021 में पेपर कम हो गया, it became 10 20 and 30. 60 questions हो गया था. और last year the questions became 15 30 and 45. And even this year IPMAT Indore is not specifically saying कि कितना questions आएगा. So they probably are going to change this, play with this to make people more afraid of things or to make people lose their calm. And a lot of professors at IIM, they try to do this. Ki, imagine for an interview, you are remembering your introduction, pura memorized karke. And when you sit for the interview, they'll be like, introduce yourself, but do not mention your name or academic qualifications. So starting ka wo flow hat jata hai and you start, stammering over that. So these things are also very important. You need to adapt to the situation. So make sure that number one rule of all the section is for mathematics कि you are looking at every question. ठीक है? Which I think you have learned now.
Actually, I did not read the instructions at starting carefully, so I assumed that there will be 15, 30, 45 pattern.
ठीक है, वो तो हो गया. But in IPMAT Rohtak, did you do marks for review? उसके कारण कोई marks गया था क्या?
In IPMAT Rohtak?
Did you attempt IPMAT Rohtak?
No. I'm only.
I'll tell you क्या हुआ था. IPMAT Rohtak में, if anyone did marks for review, and even if they answered it, those questions were not taken for evaluation. So this was only exclusive to IPMAT Rohtak, and ये लिखा था instructions में when they have the entire page. So please make sure all of these things are done by everyone who's watching and by you too. तो इसमें time management main issue था कि 40 questions था. Had it been 30 questions, would you have managed time ठीक से?
Yes.
ठीक है?
Because I have attempted 10 more mocks besides this. So I have reached till 70 marks in QA MCQ.
ठीक sir. Because over here, if the issue happened because you were not aware, then it's not your fault ना कि मतलब strategy में तो कुछ change नहीं कर सकते हम. It is something which has already happened. But question picking, do you follow that round one ABC approach or what do you do when you start with the mock?
I normally do the questions, and if after 30 seconds I am not able to understand, I leave that.
Okay.
And if in MCQ I am able to make an intelligent guess or choose between any two options, I can do that.
Okay. And my question is, are you opening question 1, you're trying to solve, open question 2, you're trying to solve, or are you just looking everything for 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, and you're coming out and solving everything बाद में?
Not looking at 10 seconds.
ठीक है, you'll seen this. One thing I could recommend is कि बहुत सारा question है ना, एक बार question को देख लो कि क्या हो रहा है, सीन क्या है question में, क्योंकि उसके कारण आसान हो जाता है, क्योंकि कोई कोई questions तो आसान मिलेगा बीच में, and you will be able to solve them. Because question 32 गलत हो गया था. How many pairs of natural number exist such that HCF is 5 and LCM is 110?
Actually, I divided wrongly. I divided it by.
Okay, silly mistake. ठीक है. But According to me, your time management में problem नहीं, because time management में problem होता if you are someone who had put 5 minutes in this DILR and not gotten it right. Problem हो गया क्योंकि मालूम नहीं था 40 questions है. And your marks seem to be, brought down by that. ये सब भी थोड़ा silly mistakes हो गया क्या? The ones which have that question 21, 26.
Actually, I have reached till cos 20, cos 40, cos 80, and I was not able to solve it because it was a very long calculation in it.
Yes. So just give that question up. Don't overthink that question. But और ये सब question
Actually, I was asking that there are directions question and sometimes clock and calendars question in quant section.
Yes.
So I am not prepared for LR. So how would be that?
तो क्या you don't have to put too much focus into it. Mocks में क्या भी आ जाता है वो करो क्योंकि every year they try to put one LR question in the quant section. I do not know why. In 2021 they had key weights का question. And after coming out we realized कि ये तो one line का answer था और हमको मालूम ही नहीं था ऐसे कुछ है. So that is why in every mock we are trying to put one LR question just for the sake of it, because by chance if the stars align, what if that question comes? So अभी mock के through कोई भी ऐसे का question है, just learn that.
So I can skip it totally.
Skip it totally. As in, do not put time into learning it. बैठ के mocks में आ रहा है, उसको सिर्फ याद कर दो. And apart from that, you have your DI set. If you feel like this is something that you can do, you can learn about tournament fixtures, you can learn about allocation, about arrangement, because all of these questions seem to come. And every time they put the DI set hard. So if you feel like all sub max ka already khatam ho gaya hai, you can devote a little more time to DI, and it could be marks that you might not have gotten otherwise.
Yes, I have to work on DI.
Because if you look at this now, out of the 5 options, 2-3 questions here are very easy. Even if you do not do the first 2, third, fourth, fifth to ho hi jayega. So it is something like that.
I did not even see the question. I did not got chance.
But anyways, right now I'm not focusing on your time management here because it becomes thoda irrelevant, especially with the fact that you did not know 40 questions tha.
Yes.
Let's not flog the dead horse. VA में देखते अभी या और कुछ बाकी है ऐसे MCQ में?
Yes.
Is there anything you want me to comment on essay MCQ या you feel like एक idea हो गया next time क्या करना है और अभी क्या पढ़ना है?
I want to know about VA, that how should I score more?
Let's see. ठीक है, your RCs are decent. You have analyzed it ना कि कहाँ mistakes हुआ है और कहाँ ठीक कर सकते हैं?
Yes, I have analyzed it and I find that I am scoring in vocab and scoring in RCs, but overall score is dipping.
Honestly, you have performed really well here because this was a hard RC. And one more thing I've seen is that you have skipped things which you're not sure of, which is a very good sign. या फिर unnecessarily all minus marks मिल जाता. So questions.
I always skip parajumble. I had never attempted them because I knew that even one number would be wrong and I would be wrong.
Fair enough. I am someone who used to attempt only 1 out of the 3 parajumbles. Kam khatam. And that was a gamble that I used to take. If it's correct, it's correct. But so grammar mistakes, you're getting like most of them right only. 19, 20, 21, but 22, 23, 24 is right. Abhi, like I said to everyone else, abhi English ke liye make notes ki okay kya galat hai, kyun sahi ho sakta hai. Kyunki neither of the students is something which, apart from the comma, because this is additional information referring to a particular set of people. Here, when you have neither of the students, this is basically a singular subject.
Yes.
So, ye sab cheez, have you gone through it?
Yes, I have gone through it from my coaching material.
So, once you do it, you will get grammar ka thing correct. You just need to remember all these rules in a manner that you can execute it. So, notebook mein ho jayega ki neither of the students ek singular subject hai. And then baad mein you even Google singular subjects list. And then you might even find stuff which you might not have done known earlier. So over here, ye to basic hai. Then you have all the different rules also with either or kya hoga, neither nor kya hoga, when you have a negative sentence क्या होगा? Interrogative sentence है उसके बाद.
I made notes about it.
Perfect. Then you're in the right track. अभी मेन चीज है कि नेक्स्ट 10 days में कितना कवर हो सकता है, एंड दैट ऑल डिपेंड्स ऑन योर ह्यूमन कैपेसिटी, राइट? Honestly, your marks are good for VA. Actually, give more marks also and see where you stand. Because that could be a game changer. 81 here is good. You
Should
know
I
what to do.
Mock every day should I attend?
Yes. क्योंकि मॉक से, do you feel like मॉक से ज्यादा चीज मिलता है सीखने के लिए?
No, we get all the questions at one place. All
हाँ.
full
And
syllabus at one place. Revision.
वही, एंड हमारा मेन चीज है कि एट द एंड ऑफ द डे व्हेन यू आर लाइक ठीक है मुझे सिर्फ ग्रामर रिवाइज करना है एक दिन या 2 दिन बिफोर द एग्जाम, ऑल यू हैव टू डू इज जस्ट चूज स्टफ. क्या हो गया इधर? यू गिवन ओनली वन मॉक क्या अभी?
Yes, I have not.
Okay,
purchased
okay,
it.
okay. No issues. So इसमें you can just do VA and grammar questions. काम खत्म. So at the end, so you will have every type of grammar question for you to look at, practice it, and if you're able to get all of them right, कितना confidence आएगा? Because you're not getting it right because of luck, because you're like ये past perfect है, ये singular है, ये parallelism में ये गलती है. This is an interrogative sentence. This is a different type of sentence. So that is the objective at the end of the day for your revision, and that is how mocks are going to teach you.
In this, I have scored, but when I attempt my coaching mocks, I'm not able to score
Which coaching?
above percentile.
देखो, I've heard things कि percentile का English टॉपर से भी कभी बनता नहीं है ठीक से. So every platform has a different style of English, right? Also, did you tell me about your past year ka English attempt, or you have not done that?
Yes, I have scored 86.
Out of 2022 में क्या?
Yes, 2022.
ठीक है. How long ago was this?
Like how?
नहीं, like right now.
I have attempted 2022 IPMAT Indore.
Oh wait, you gave the exam, और वो
Yes.
exam के time में उतना आया था.
Yes,
ठीक
and
है.
I prepared only 10 days for.
हाँ, obviously now with 1 more year of experience under your belt, ज़्यादा ही होगा,
Yes.
right? So don't worry too much about the marks fluctuating across marks of the same platform, across different platforms and institutions. You cannot compare it. Do not try to be like, oh, percentile में 80 आया, इसमें 110 आया, इसमें 70 आया, इसमें 50 आया. That will only give you tension, unnecessary tension which no one should suffer from. It's a completely incorrect comparison. So do not overthink that.
But
ये
when I
mock में कितना?
But when I scored when I attempted the previous year questions of verbal ability and points separately, I cleared the cutoff.
हाँ. So problem
of all the 4 years. 19, 20, 21, 22.
So you know what to do. You're able to understand the mocks. When people are making mocks, they're also making mocks in bulk. 25 mocks banna, like they have to make for big institutions. So obviously somewhere or the other quality might not properly reflect the IPMAT paper, or maybe the difficulty goes up and down way too much. So अभी टेंशन मत लो कि मॉक्स का स्कोर ऊपर नीचे जा रहा है. अभी सिर्फ सोचो मॉक्स देना है, एंड्योरेंस बिल्ड करना है, और मॉक्स का आंसर्स से कहाँ गलती हो गया एंड द क्वेश्चन दैट यू डिड नॉट आंसर उसे सीखना है. सिर्फ ये मेंटालिटी रखो.
Yes, I have done that. And I was asking one more thing, that how should I revise in these 10 days?
ठीक है. कौन से टॉपिक रिवाइज करना है? एक एग्जांपल दो.
Like, first of all, vocabulary, it is a vast ocean, so
Yes, do ये वाला thing. I promise you, bhai. This, because they are not going to ask questions randomly. The vocabulary questions they ask are to confuse you. So ऐसे का questions they might ask, like imminent और immanent में difference क्या है? Entomology और etymology में difference क्या है? COVID हुआ तो maybe epidemic और pandemic में questions push देंगे. So trust me, this is something which is possible every day if you put an hour. ये तो हो ही जाएगा. Or if not everything, at least 50% of this.
for idiom and phrases.
Idiom and phrasal verbs, going in that vast ocean again is painful. Mocks में क्या क्या questions आ रहा है? Learn that, because I believe we have 6 questions for idioms and phrasal verbs. and each question has 4 options. So 24 idioms and phrasal verbs from one particular mock. 5 mocks say you're getting what? 120 such words.
Actually, I have completed around 300 to 400 idioms.
हाँ, वो भी सही है और ये भी थोड़ा कर दो,
हाँ,
सब चीज का खिचड़ी हो जाएगा फाइनली एट द एंड एंड थोड़ा सा रिटेंशन रखो. So basically do not get frustrated की or flustered by the fact कि vast ocean है. Objective है कि कितना cover हो सकते cover करो. That is more than enough. And when I say cover, I'm not just saying कि exposure though. I'm saying कि retain the meaning of that idiom or phrase or verb.
okay.
So for example, if I ask you now, what's the meaning of Hail Mary, which was a mock 1 में था, one of the idioms, do you recall the meaning now? ये वाला.
To hey, if I remembered it, I analyzed it. Last chance. It was last last प्रार्थना मतलब जिसे हिंदी में कहते हैं.
हाँ हाँ वर्क्स. इसमें तो कोई किसको इंग्लिश में लिखना ही नहीं है, हिंदी में भी याद है मीनिंग. 4 marks is 4 marks, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
हाँ, good. So that is good. So if ऐसे का thing ever comes, you will know answer क्या होगा अभी. So वही है.
And for phrasal verbs, I have to separately do from anywhere or.
What I do is कि सोचो ये है, the thief tried to dash the priceless diamond, make off with, make out, make up for, and make into. Then can you answer this एक बार अभी?
I've seen it, so it was make off with make out.
Make off with.
Yes.
You need to know how to. You need to know the exact meaning. Make into, make up for. For example, Flipkart tried to make up for the late delivery by giving me 100 rupees discount. So you should be in a position where you can make sentences because you know the exact meaning. And I'm not saying you put a definition below because even I will have some trouble telling the definition of make up for. But if sentence में use करना है, sentence में use करके meaning to derive कर पाऊंगा दिमाग में. So that is your objective here. Make into क्या है? Make out with क्या है? Make out is basically snogging, doing that with someone. So this is definitely not the answer. So वैसे you can do it. And one more thing which I do is I then search make phrasal verbs. So when I search this, I get more different phrasal verbs in this beautiful picture manner. And I get ideas like this. Okay, make off, form an opinion. Make up, make up for, to compensate for something. Make after, to chase after someone. So ऐसे ही थोड़ा और idea हो जाता है. And you learn and you broaden your horizons while analyzing your mock. So this is the only thing I would suggest with 10 days remaining.
And for short answer, advice.
Short answer में क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है अभी? ये सब चीजें एक बार 001 या कुछ डाल दो because answer 0. देखो, just choose one number and just put it at the end. ठीक है? That will give you. Make sure you do that. Apart from that, your attempt is already really good. Like you थोड़ा सा better हो सकता है in terms of कि नहीं, honestly this is a very good attempt for this thing. But now you've learned no ये सब question कैसे solve करना है. That is your only objective right now. Because I
have reached in this question till n plus 1 upon 2 equals to 100. Then I was confused how to solve that quadratic equation. And then I lately discovered that it would be by hit and trial, some value taking 27, 28.
So time है तो this will work out well. But ऐसे section में time का तो issue नहीं है ना. It's not like you're not able to visit questions. You're able to visit questions. Yes, you know strategy क्या है. You have already given the IPMAT once. You have given a lot of mocks. Yes. अभी it's not like your strategy is incorrect. Abhi the only thing is to learn and broaden your concept base. Kaise ye wala question tha. Like if you're able to, from first principle thinking.
I understand this after the solution also.
Oh, ye wala question is basic. So sirf 2 coordinates है 2,3. 2,3 से 8,5 जाना है. ठीक है?
Yes.
And where each step from any point. So step matlab you're basically going in one straight line. So either horizontal or vertical, right?
Okay.
So basically 2,3 to 8,5 जाना है. So x axis मतलब 2 to 8 जाना है, तो 6 times x axis को क्रॉस करना है. और y axis 3 to 5 जाना है, तो 2 बार ऊपर जाना है. So 6 times right side and 2 times ऊपर. तो काम खत्म. x को 6 times ऐड होगा, y को 2 times. वैसे ही z coordinate भी है. And that's literally all you have to do. Just rearrange this in all the orders possible and you will get your answer.
I was confused by this x plus 1 y z, x y plus 1 z, and these.
So they're basically saying कि you can either travel by increasing x by 1 or y by 1 or z by 1. That's what they were saying.
Yes.
So next time if they confuse a question and they put z plus 2, you will understand कि oh z 2 बार जा रहा है. That is the travel that you can do.
Yes.
So वही चीज है.
Now I understood. Thank you.
Anyways, I feel like देखो तुमको मालूम है, अब just सब मॉक्स को एनालाइज करो, सब मॉक्स का आंसर दो, give as many mocks as possible and use the topics का filter अच्छा सा, and you'll be in a good position.
Okay.
Is there anything else I can help you with? ठीक sir. All the best, Mudad.
Thank you, Via.
All right. We have Manu and Sai Krishna, right? We'll do Manu. You there?
Yes, Via.
ठीक sir.
The Via.
Nice DP. ठीक sir. Let me open your account first, sir. So tell me, how long have you been preparing for? Scene क्या है? किसमें मुश्किल लग रहा है? And what's the deal?
मेरी प्रिपरेशन जितनी बहुत टेरिबल रही है. मैं
है?
ह्यूमैनिटीज सेक्शन से हूँ और बोर्ड्स मेरे अभी जस्ट खत्म हुए थे 3 अप्रैल को. मैंने उसका
ठीक है.
प्रिपरेशन शुरू करी. सेल्फ प्रिपरेशन, कोई कोचिंग मैंने ज्वाइन नहीं करी. और मैंने रोहतक का अटेम्प्ट दिया. बहुत बुरे नंबर आए थे मेरे.
ठीक है.
फिर मैं थोड़ा लो हो गया. फिर मैंने सोचा कि अगले साल अटेम्प्ट दूंगा, क्योंकि अगर रोहतक नहीं निकला तो इंदौर कैसे ही निकलेगा. मैंने काफी टॉपिक्स कवर भी नहीं किए थे.
ठीक है. तो अभी बेसिकली थिंग इज प्रिपरेशन का अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिला बहुत सारा.
यस यस. तो
हाँ,
फिर मुझे पेरेंट्स ने बोला कि कोई नहीं, अब जब फॉर्म भरा है इंदौर और रांची का तो एक बार पूरा 100% तो दो, क्या पता हो जाए.
हाँ,
तो मैंने
never
सोचा
know.
कि जितने भी दिन है मैं एटलीस्ट ट्राई तो करूँ जितना बेस्ट हो सके.
That's good. What stream did you have in 11th and 12th?
ह्यूमैनिटीज.
ठीक है. Okay, तो मैथ्स नहीं था ना?
नो नो.
All right, ठीक है. Not an issue. Let's have a look कि scene क्या हो रहा है इधर. All right. So now one thing that I can recommend is, in your paper, tell me what's your approach when you're trying to analyze, when you're trying to open the exam खुला है, तो जो MCQ section खुल गया है.
Yes.
How are you proceeding in the MCQ section?
मैं सबसे पहले क्वेश्चंस पढ़ता हूँ और अगर इफ आई फील दैट कि ये इजी है, मैं जो कर सकता हूँ अभी जस्ट मैं उसको देता हूँ 20 सेकंड तक करके देखता हूँ. 20-30 सेकंड देता हूँ, होता है ठीक है, नहीं तो मैं नेक्स्ट पे मूव करता हूँ.
ठीक है. तो वो तो ठीक है. You are understanding कि it is not something which has to be done one by one and you're not devoting too much time into it, and that is also visible over here. You're not getting trapped. Problem है कि you're not knowing the concepts in itself. So you do not have a problem in giving a mock. You have a problem in, answer the मालूम नहीं तो mock क्या ही देना है. So what I recommend now is कि you need to learn stuff. And one resource material is वो percentile का super 30 का video series है ना?
Yes, super 300.
हाँ, super 300, sorry. Learn everything in that. Every video.
Okay.
Because that is the first step that you need to take. क्योंकि अभी what you can do is you can always, learn from the solution here कि okay ये समझ आ गया. But if you do not have any base due to you being in non-math, like ये question है, I do not think even after reading the solution you will be able to understand it. Or are you able to understand this?
Absolutely not. Trigonometry है.
हाँ. So अभी in these 10 days modern math तो थोड़ा छोड़ दो. maybe very basics
Yeah.
of set theory सीख लो.
Yeah, I know
Uh,
set theory.
हाँ.
Functions कर लूँ, ठीक है. मैंने सिर्फ देखा कि आपके वो PDF के functions के question आते हैं.
हाँ, थोड़ा कर दो यार. Like it's a topic where sometimes an easy question will come. All you have to do is just plug in like 5-6 values and you will get the answer. So do that. Geometry भूल जाओ, ठीक है?
Okay.
Geometry भूल जाओ. Algebra, arithmetic, little bit of modern math and number systems.
Number system.
हाँ.
Number
Like,
system के question like थोड़ा tricky होते तो मैं confuse हो जाता हूँ उनमें.
देखो ये सब चीज कर दो. Cyclicity कर दो.
Okay.
Unit digit that comes under cyclicity. HCF LCM थोड़ा कर दो.
Okay.
ये दोनों चीज कर दो. If you कुछ तो आ जाएगा इसमें से. So that should clear your things out. But हाँ.
Like मैंने mock 2 भी दिया था जिसमें मैंने उसके like
Mhm.
इंग्लिश में पहले मैंने इंग्लिश VA सेक्शन में थोड़ा ध्यान से किया था mock 2.
हाँ.
थोड़ा ध्यान दे के किया था और ज्यादा अटेम्प्ट भी नहीं किया था. लाइक मॉक 1 में मैंने पूरा अटेम्प्ट किया था, इसमें पूरा अटेम्प्ट भी नहीं किया.
हाँ.
मैंने कम ही अटेम्प्ट किया और मार्क्स थोड़े शूट अप हुए मेरे VA में.
Yes. I can
So,
see
like-
one good thing is कि your negative marks has reduced. देखो यही mock में if your negative marks fell थोड़ा minimum 183 से 126 चला जाता.
Yes, yes.
In the actual exam, do not take any risk.
Yes.
Attempt only the things that you know. And even if बाद में वो सही निकला, do not be disappointed. It's okay. Hindsight is always 20/20.
Okay.
So when you do this, at least negative marks वो self harm नहीं आएगा. That is very important. And over here also VA का marks has been shoot up to हुआ है. Main चीज है कि सीखना है. अब apart from that तो वो कुछ बोल नहीं सकता है कि देखो questions
मैं भी कितना कॉर्ड्स में कितना ज्यादा कॉर्ड्स कैसे करूँ, मुझे एटलीस्ट बेसिकली मेरे पास कोई गाइड करने के लिए नहीं है.
ठीक है. Have you analyzed this कि कैसे solve करना है ये वाला चीज?
एक्चुअली मेरी तबीयत 2 दिन से खराब थी तो मैंने कुछ एनालाइज किया नहीं है.
ठीक है. अभी are you feeling better now?
Yes, I am feeling a little better. So मैंने सोचा अभी थोड़ी देर बाद मैं मॉक 1 को एनालाइज करूंगा.
हाँ. अभी क्या क्या सॉल्यूशन समझ आ रहा है, just learn it. Because here Vani has written a very beautiful answer कि कैसे समझना चाहिए ये सब questions के लिए, कैसे आंसर करना चाहिए. And when you read this now, it's very simple. आसान से हो जाएगा. And this is a question that always comes in IPMAT. One or the other question comes like this. ठीक है.
लाइक मुझे इसके बेसिक्स नहीं पता तो पहले लाइक मुझे बेसिक्स कर लेना चाहिए.
हाँ, इसका बेसिक बेसिकली है ये डंडा है ना.
हाँ.
डंडा का बीच में
मॉडुलस का इतना था कि वो नेगेटिव को पॉजिटिव में कन्वर्ट कर देता है.
हाँ, that's it. तो इसमें बेसिकली बोलना है कि x में कोई वैल्यू डालेंगे, क्या वैल्यू डालने से पूरा इक्वेशन का सबसे कम वैल्यू आएगा, राइट? मिनिमम वैल्यू ऑफ द एंटायर थिंग.
ओके.
तो बेसिकली 100 डालेगा तो बहुत बड़ा नंबर आएगा.
यस.
0 डालेगा भी तो कुछ बड़ा नंबर आ सकता है. But you have to find a number in between which will give you, the least amount of value. You'll understand ना क्यों 0 डालने से भी बड़ा वैल्यू आ सकता है.
यस. लाइक मैं जो क्वेश्चंस है वो सिर्फ मॉक्स के और प्रीवियस ईयर्स की प्रैक्टिस करूं अगर मुझे क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस करनी है.
At this point of time, do mock का 1 and 2 हो गया है. mock 1 and 2 का सब चीज सीख लो. परसेंटाइल 300 को जंप करो उसके बाद. ठीक है.
ओके.
Once you do all of that, only then give one more mock and learn from that mock. Because abhi sitting and learning an entire chapter might not do you that good.
Yes.
No, उतना टाइम नहीं है. अभी सब चैप्टर का थोड़ा थोड़ा सीख के आ जाओ. जैसे ये फॉर्मूला हुआ है, एक्सटीरियर एंगल ऐसे का फॉर्मूला है, याद रखो. What if a question comes from exterior angle? You do not have to learn all the axioms of triangle, but simple stuff ऐसे. And that is the best way to learn in this limited short amount of time. कैसे ऐसे का क्वेश्चन आएगा, a plus b plus c equal 13. Answer if these are constant, the product takes maximum value when each of them take equal value. समझ आ गया? All of them should be equal.
Okay, भैया.
So that is the main thing at the end of the day.
Thank you, भैया.
Anything else?
बस यही कि लाइक
हाँ
मुझे जैसे मेरे को लगता है टाइम कम है मेरे पास।
हाँ, टाइम तो
लाइक
बहुत
अगर
कम
मैं
है।
अगर मैं अभी कंसेप्ट करने बैठा तो फिर मैं क्वेश्चंस कब कर पाऊंगा।
वही ऑब्जेक्टिव मॉक 1 पूरा आज पूरा एनालाइज खत्म कर दो। एंड
यस,
किसका भी क्वेश्चन था कंफ्यूज इन मॉडर्न मैथ, डू लॉगरिथम इज समथिंग विच इज इजी।
ये लॉगरिथम मैंने कर लिया है।
हाँ ओके गुड परफेक्ट। फिर सिर्फ मॉक 1 को एनालाइज करो, लर्न द कॉन्सेप्ट्स देन, एक नोटबुक रख दो फॉर फॉर्मूलाज एंड इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चंस एंड अप्रोचेस विच यू कैन लाइक कि ओ ऐसे का क्वेश्चन है तो ऐसे सोचना चाहिए वो टाइम। एंड जस्ट लर्न दीज 2 मॉक्स। उसके बाद जंप टू सुपर 300, सही हाँ वही सुपर 300 का सीरीज, एंड देन कम बैक टू मॉक्स।
ओके भैया।
हाँ एंड
बेसिकली ज्यादातर अलजेब्रा, अरिथमेटिक और नंबर सिस्टम करूंगा।
हाँ मेनली ये सब चीज कर दो। एंड डू नॉट बी डिसअपॉइंटेड कि यू आर डूइंग इट नाउ, व्हाट्स द पॉइंट, क्लियर नहीं होगा या ये नहीं होगा। थिंक ऑफ इट एज early preparation for next year if you choose to attempt it again.
ओके भैया।
And if it happens, well, let's go. हम आपको कांटेक्ट करेंगे, हम वीडियो डालेंगे हाउ ही क्लियर IPMAT एज अ ह्यूमैनिटीज नॉन मैथ
बेसिकली
स्टूडेंट
मैं
इन
वैसे
नेक्स्ट
आई
10
एम
days.
रांची के लिए ही फोकस कर रहा हूँ।
आई एम लांच फोकस है तो वर्बल एबिलिटी प्लीज मेक श्योर यू आर मैक्सिमाइजिंग योर स्कोर क्योंकि उसमें एग्रीगेट कट ऑफ है। आई हैव जूनियर्स इन आई
मैं
एम लांची।
इसलिए थोड़ा वी में ज्यादा फोकस कर रहा हूँ।
हाँ वही, बट मेक श्योर वो भी अच्छे से हो जाए, योर नेगेटिव मार्क्स कम डाउन बाय अ लॉट।
बस थोड़ा एक बार ये होता है कि कॉन्ट्स में भी थोड़ा शूट अप हो जाए तो हाँ, कितना है कि मैं शायद रांची का कट ऑफ कर लूँ, बट मुझे रांची का कट ऑफ भी नहीं पता।
किसको भी नहीं पता। लास्ट ईयर इट वाज 187 इफ दैट हेल्प्स।
तो मैं जहाँ तक एनालाइज कर रहा हूँ कि शायद इस साल 200 टच कर ले।
What if IIM Indore gives a very hard paper और ऐसे का कट ऑफ 20 है, एमसी का कट ऑफ 24 है और बीए का कट ऑफ 44 हो गया, बहुत मुश्किल पेपर आ गया, तो things will change again. We cannot say because I'm telling you every coaching platform they were telling कि
Yes.
रोहतक का सेफ स्कोर 300 350, भाई कट ऑफ 409
मैंने खुद ही
निकला।
अटेम्प्ट 408 मार्क्स का किया था।
तो हाँ that's the deal.
ओके भैया।
ठीक है,
मैं वीए पे थोड़ा ध्यान दूं और अरिथमेटिक
हाँ
वगैरह कर लूं।
yes,
थैंक यू भैया।
ठीक है, anytime, all the best. Okay, next, Sai Krishna.
Hi.
How are you feeling?
Nervous.
Why?
I just don't know.
That's not an issue.
I kind
You
of
have,
feel nervous.
where are you from?
Kakinada, Andhra Pradesh.
Best. All right. So you want me to analyze your mock 2. Got it.
Mock one. Anything is fine.
Yeah. Since there's no one, we both can have a nice, sweet conversation. See
Yeah.
what you think is the problem, where you can improve, what you've done so far, and what you're aiming for.
Okay, so
Hmm.
I think you remember I already texted you on Instagram.
Yes.
Right? Like I joined for coaching in my college. To this day, I regret it.
Yes.
So
And
if I were to say my real preparation started from June 1st. Because in college, what they did was they concentrated on the arithmetic part more. Like that actually helped for GIPMAT. The English and logical reasoning, they were good. But modern maths, nah. The material they followed, it was too clumsy, I guess.
All right. And what was your stream in 11th and 12th again?
Commerce.
With maths or without maths?
Yeah, with maths.
Okay, that's good then. At least one basis over there.
Yeah.
So all these questions which are also of algebra and arithmetic, let me take some level of difficulty as easy and medium first. Yes, I love this feature. Good. I can see that you've put focus here. You're able to get half of them right.
Yeah.
Have you analyzed these answers, why you got them right and what was your mistake here?
Yeah, some I did, except for a few topics like take modulus functions.
All right.
I think
I've like the thing right now which I can feel is you learned a very good amount of algebra and arithmetic, but you need to make sure you're getting all of them right, else the purpose gets defeated. Because even if your modern math is not the best, if you're able to maximize and make sure every algebra arithmetic questions are correct, you're at a very good point of, you're in a very good position.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you feel you have the capacity and the bandwidth to jump into modern math right now and, actually sit and learn things? Because if you say your actual preparation started from June,
Yeah.
modern math,
I think I
especially
can do some topics. Yeah, I think I can complete modern math topics if I even
okay, so
like for today. What I thought was I will give a mock every day and analyze it during the evening and night time. But like after the attempting mock 2, AfterBoards mock 2, I thought like maybe I will give it a rest for 2 days and try to go deep into the modern math topics like logarithms, probability, permutations and combinations.
do you feel that if you just open modern math questions here and you have a permutation combination over here,
Yeah.
are you able to understand these solutions? Like, do you have that much base?
Yeah, after analyzing it, I was able to understand.
Yes. So I would tell you rather to learn from all these questions. You have 29 modern math questions already in front of you on your plate.
Yeah.
Learn everything here because that will save you a lot of time from actually sitting and learning an entire chapter because it is not efficient. Right now, you're learning exact IPMAT related concepts. And if you learn this concept, you will be able to modify it because I'm pretty sure just by talking to you, it feels like you have that understanding of logical reasoning, at least that if the question is changed a little bit here and there, you will know how to solve that.
Yeah.
So trust me, do this because this will solve a lot of headache and it won't put you in a position of despair where you're sitting and you're opening a 7-hour video or a 4-hour video on permutation combination because that will just give you a shit ton of stress. You'll be like, I'm doing only one concept and it does not work out well. Here, you're at least doing mixtures of concepts. And only if you feel like you have no understanding what A minus 1 is, then you need to look at the basics. But if you do, sit and learn the solution here.
Well, I do know matrices and determinants, but like I did that maybe a month ago, I need to properly revise it, maybe sit for half a day.
Half a day? Half an hour?
Maybe,
See,
I don't know like what kind of questions are coming. Maybe are they too deep?
No, not too deep. So just search for matrices determinants notes, okay, on Google, and just go through any of these notes, and you'll get a very good idea. Okay, what is the meaning of stuff like these? What's a determinant? What is a cofactor? What is a minor? And what is the skew symmetric matrix and all of those things. So when you learn all of that, what is the trace? You can come back to this and just do this. And you're going to learn, okay, skew symmetric matrix came, trace came. Perfect. You know the meaning. And now over here, you have a question where you just need to learn how to, put in the value, figure out. And then we also give you short clicks here. Okay, determinant 0 here. And you can easily.
I'm trying to analyze such questions, but when I'm attempting the mock, like say a question from matrices and determinants is there, but that includes trigonometric values in it. Then I'll be like, no, I can't do this. I will rather skip it. Maybe look at it last.
But you're able to see now how simple this was. All you had to do was just search cos 2. Cos, So do not compromise on this because you know the basic trigonometric formulas, right?
Yeah.
And even if you answered it wrong, it's okay. Right now, do not look at your mocks as a simulation of your actual exam marks. Simulation of actual exam, yes. Simulation of actual exam marks, no. Your objective right now is to sit and learn every concept from these marks. And when you do that, that will be more actionable approach compared to anything else that you would be doing.
Yeah.
So while giving mocks, the strategy. I think we have repeated it a lot. Key, you know how to pick questions, choose the easy ones, go through every question, eliminate options, eliminate questions, and all.
Yeah. And I have a doubt. Should I concentrate on geometry now?
No, skip.
Yeah, I just want to know. For this section, some questions I didn't know the answer, but maybe put some answer. That's what I thought. Maybe they could be correct.
That is completely all right. That's a very fair approach to do. That is completely all right. But do not put any random. Wait, are you putting random values or? Are these random values or is this an answer which you thought could be the answer?
It was a silly mistake.
Makes sense. But yes, honestly, you don't have a problem with time management, or do you?
No.
So again, you are not someone with a problem of mock strategy. You are someone with a problem of conceptual clarity lacking.
Yeah.
And how you need to learn? Analyze both the mocks, learn the solutions entirely, and try to learn the entire concept from the solution. And when you do that, you're able to figure out, okay, this is what is the inverse of the probability, and you're learning, set theory questions a bit also, because this probability and set theory are interconnected. So when you're able to learn stuff like this, and you're learning maximizing a set, minimizing a set, if you want to learn a little more questions and not do mocks, percentile 300 series, which is free on YouTube, have a gander at that
right now.
Yeah. Your plan is straightforward. You will not be able to complete the entire thing, which is, not humanly possible, but you will be able to do things at a required extent at which you will be able to give a good attempt. And you just need to work really hard right now.
Yeah.
Is there anything specific I can help you out with?
I think I need to improve my VA a lot.
You need to?
Improve my verbal ability section a lot.
A little bit. Yes. The section was also a bit hard in mock 1. And also negative markings for MCQ also. Please be very wary of that.
Yeah.
I think you're able to see the difference in your rank because of just negative marks.
Yeah.
But go through it, use bookmarks, use topics well, and just learn from every single question and the concepts possible from the mock.
Yeah, I will.
All right. So I'm not saying a lot and I'm not taking too much of your time because I know anything that I say right now is not going to be as helpful as you actually going and analyzing 2 questions in the time that could have occurred.
Yes.
So is there anything else I can help you out with?
Yeah, and verbal ability section.
How to prepare?
Are root words really important?
At this point of time, learning root words for Indore the problem is even if you know the root word, people might not be able to identify it in the actual paper.
Yeah.
So do not jump into root words right now. Just do the commonly confusing words in vocabulary.com list and learn from all the mocks. Every question has full options. You have 40 verbal ability mocks and a lot of words to learn from just that. So do that.
Yeah.
Like, for example, tell the meaning of tenacity.
Tenacity. Yeah. It's something like a violent.
Something like a?
Violent, maybe. Something like that.
Tenacity means someone who has a headstrong approach, someone courageous and brave and can withstand all the problems. So you basically need tenacity right now. You need to go forward, no matter how things might not have worked well, because this is something which I deeply believe in. Let me share my screen. Like this quote, like the best time to attempt mocks was 4 weeks back and the second best time is today. So even if you did not study, the second best time is not just today, it's now. So after the call, go. Analyze things, because I promise you in maths, it's very transformative. You're going to learn things instantly. And that will be a game changer because you're just going to get concepts into your head. And we do not try to frustrate you because our solutions are good quality, that you won't have ambiguity in the solutions. If there are one or two, you can always, report that and we can try to enhance the quality. But yes, this is what you need to do. Just go headstrong and do everything without a second thought. Anything else?
I guess that's it.
Perfect then. And
maybe I need some words of encouragement from you.
okay. How many days are remaining right now?
11.
Yes, this is how much time I had before I started my preparation as a commerce math student with Corona batch who did 0 in 12th standard. I'm someone who did not make the cutoff of MCQ. I was 2 less than the actual cutoff.
Yeah.
And things just have a way of working out because it's not just this exam, it's also the interview. And you're going to give your best shot at it. So you never know until you try. And I've seen people who were studying for a year and a half, my classmates who didn't clear the cutoffs of any of the IMs, but I somehow managed to do it. Okay, and it does not matter at the end of the day because even if they did not manage to do it, they're at very good places. Few of them are in Christ University. A friend of mine also did his summer internship at McKinsey by being in Christ. And none of my IIM friends have done a summer internship in IPM in undergraduation at McKinsey. So it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Your objective right now is to study shit. And this shit will help you out regardless if you make it into the exam or not. This process will teach you discipline. It will teach you how to overcome adversity. And you being headstrong and learning maths in such a short amount of time is going to enhance how you think, how you do system design, and how you do system thinking. This first principle of thinking when it comes to problem solving will also be enhanced.
Yeah. Well, I was just about to ask you.
What?
I was just about to ask you if taking a drop is worth it or not. Taking a drop year.
Again, it's your choice. You can always give CAT exam. That is never off the table.
Yeah.
And CAT exam, you have a lot more IMs also to focus on. And in CAT exam, you also give the exam with a little more maturity, with a little more, sincerity and dedication throughout your period of time. And even though you have more aspirants, you have more seats. And you're not just restricted to IMs. You have really good colleges, from SP chain to MDI and more.
Yeah. Do you have any idea about Manipal University BBA program? Like, is it good?
Depends on your options. Like, at the end of the day, if you're having Manipal, TAPMI, that is TAPMI only, right? Or is it? No, that is something else.
No. Yeah.
So compare between these options. And when it's these colleges, you also need to look at the, how far away it is from your home, if that is a factor, or what is the fees and what is the time that they will allot you there. Because if you go to a college that is not as worth as something else from Christ or NM, and they don't even allow you to study for CAT, then it becomes problematic. So see if the college is allowing and aligning things according to what you want to plan in the future. Your objective right now, and only objective right now, is to give the exam with the best of your abilities that you're going to garner in the next 10 days. And also, did you apply for CUET and other exams?
Actually, no.
All right. So what other colleges do you have on your plate apart from IIMs?
Apart from IIMs, like based on the IPMAT score, I prefer Nalsar, IIFT Kakinada, and I prefer this university in Bangalore. Yeah, President's University in Bangalore. That's all. My cousin was saying, what about Manipal University BBA?
Honestly, if you get IIFT Kakinada, I would prefer that over Manipal BBA. Not Manipal PTech, but Manipal BBA. Even NASA.
Okay. What's better between IIFT Kakinada or Nalsar?
It's your choice at the end, because I'm seeing both the things and I'm seeing amazing results by the students there. And it's these students who are going to set up the alumni base. And it's these students who are going to, paint the picture of what the college will represent. Like I know Ayush Nigam from NASA, and the things that he's doing is great. And the teachers are amazing. It's very supportive. And they allow you to also work in your vehicle and focus on different aspects from business to academics. And then you also have people like Aishik Pal in Kakinada. And he's doing great things. So at the end of the day, you take a decision and you make it right.
As of now, exam is the only objective. I will try my best.
Yes, look at the sole objective. Because right now we're talking about what ifs. But now, if you are able to see, clearing the cutoff of Kakinada and NASA will only be possible if your first objective of good marks in exam is clear. So do that, and you can always have a conversation about colleges later. Because the thing is, we are not going to reject any colleges until they accept you first.
Yeah.
And do not reject a college until the college rejects you. Yeah. So go study the hell out. Next 10 years, for the next 10 days, you're going to be a beast that you didn't know you were.
Also, one thing, like I already asked this in group. For some reason, I'm more fixated on I am Ranchi rather than I am Indore.
My chairperson would be very happy to hear that. The thing is, the students of Ranchi really know how to market and romanticize well. There's a reason why IIM Ranchi is the third best college in India for marketing from the research perspective. People here understand how perceived value works. And same thing goes for IPM. And there needs to be some amount of differentiators, right? And when you allow people from IPM to stand out, to shine out, and the freedom that it allots us to do things, the public perceives it. And it's because other colleges do not allow the same amount of public perception. It is hidden from the eyes of the public, even though it could be equally good.
Okay.
So let's not talk about college preferences. Exam, you're going to analyze 2 mocks, you're going to learn from Super 300, you're going to be a beast. I think that is what you need to hear now. Everything else can be talked about later.
Yeah.
All right then, I believe. So, ho gaya. Ooh, that was thing. ठीक Phil, thank you so much. And if anyone wants to know what the... Okay, all right.
Yeah, just bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Hopefully we'll meet you in IIM Ranchi.
No matter what college you get into, we'll meet you there.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Done.
Okay,
so,
bye.
Okay, bye. So let's chat में थोड़ा chill out करते हैं. If people are there in the chat, I'm reading it right now here. And let's see what the things are. आर्यन गुप्ता भैया ये Zoom meeting का link कहाँ से मिलता है? This is for our mock students, and if you have not already, I highly recommend you, and I cannot stress on this enough. This mock platform is crazy good. All right, and we are giving you things that you might have never thought of before, from ranking calculated on the basis of ATS and these analytics which actually matter for IPMAT Indore. We are catering it exactly for the exam, and we're not making one standardized LMS which can cater to every exam. This is mainly for IIM Indore. And if you want it, you can go to afterboards.in/mocks and you can have a look at our advertisement video. We'll fix this. And yep, have a look at all of this. And if you want it, all you have to do is click one big orange button and you're good to go. Thank you, Alia. Hey, will the interview of IPMAT take place offline? Maliciousness. Only the Ranchi interview will be offline. Everything else will be online. Maliciousness, kya karna hai? Give more marks. This is good school. Just give more marks. We do not know what these scores are for. And Viplav says ki idea, chances for Ranchi, good. But the thing is, we do not know how the exam paper is going to be right. So with these scores right now, we also need to know what percentile you're lying towards. So, yep, I think we are good to go. We'll end the live. Thank you so much. Tata. Bye-bye.